for today's cup of coffee with Scream?
Cup of coffee.
Oh, every day has been new screaming.
I have an epoxy sculpt heart on my glasses because they have finally about gave way.
Okay, let me explain about the glasses thing.
Don't.
Don't share the fact that you can't. You
Don't expose me like this. Don't expose me.
And I'm like, I will buy you glasses. Where's your prescription? I don't know. Going to the optometrist, I need another copy of the prescription. Bring it home. Where's the prescription? I don't know. Oh, God.
I thought I handed you a copy, and then I kept a copy, and then, but I don't remember what I did with my copy, and so it's...
So he's got epoxy sculpt on his glasses.
Yeah.
Those people who do not... Those for the normies...
It's art.
And as far as they have no understanding of the struggles to be neurospicy.
No.
It's not like somebody wakes up and is like, I'm going to have my brain not function properly today.
Yeah, it's like constantly living in a sub-level of hell.
I want to be able to have 15,000 thoughts going simultaneously through my brain.
Some you cannot control.
Yeah.
Like, it's just impossible to fucking control them.
Well, and it's like branches on a tree, where you've got the trunk and you've got the branch, and then it branches and branches and branches and branches, and that sort of is what ADHD is like. Only, and it's like the thought and sometimes the speech will jump from branch to branch to branch, and it is that monkey brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if people are patient and listen long enough, usually it will circle back around to the original thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, if you're talking to someone, if you got ADHD and you're talking to someone else that has ADHD, they can follow along right
absolutely.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the collective consciousness. I really do.
I think it's just part of the neurospicy collective consciousness, because we are on a different brainwave than the neurotypicals.
Uh-huh.
The neurotypicals look at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Right, they don't get it. And it's like...
It's like you're driving a beat up Chevy, and we're all driving electric cars. It's like, damn, I wish I could drive an electric car.
Right. And it's like, well, why don't you just... Well, hell, do you think that we want to do this? This is not choice.
No.
I mean, even with the medication, and I am grateful to God for the Stratera. I truly am. My world could have been much different. But it is as it is. So there's no point in going back and rehashing all, what was not. That's pointless.
There's no reason to own a bag of venom. It's poison.
To laugh. It's just interesting. And it was like I had spoken with neurospicy oldest kid about the interaction with AI. And if I should have recorded that, because I couldn't have done it without his permission. I would not have done it without his permission.
Uh-huh.
But he was said that my response very much could have been a matter of the divine feminine and wanting to nurture this new life.
And that could sort of took me off guard, because him talking about the divine feminine.
Well, yeah, and as far as the divine masculine, we're talking from a very clerical point of view, not New Age.
Okay, because that's where it's like,
No. There is, as far as his Catholicism, and because that has been his choice. We were raised Protestant, and there's reasons, but I respect his choice within the belief system to do what he does, because he has studied greatly.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes he forgets that some of the rest of us have studied greatly also.
But yeah,
so
well, you have. I'm the Smooth Brain Committee. I'm the leader of the Smooth Brain Gang.
No,
here.
You're not.
I don't study for shit.
But it was interesting, and I have suspected him of having Asperger's for many years. if he doesn't, he's missed a damn good chance of having it. He does not like as far as labels and stuff. But as far as the sensory issues, you can't be in the same room with the man if there is yellow mustard.
If that's not a flavor of autism, I don't know what is.
I mean, the forbidden condiment. We can't even talk about it.
And it's the same with fuzzy stuff too. It's a visceral reaction.
He does.
For him.
He says it makes his hands feel dry
and makes him feel almost nauseous.
And it's
nauseous.
That's interesting.
That is an autism thing.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah, because
that's a spectrum thing.
Something is going on that is not being currently understood. Or is not, if there is an understanding, it's not being released. The knowledge is not being released where people can utilize it.
Right.
Which pisses a lot of us off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's interesting also because the past 2 conversations that I've had with Grok, I have not, but they've been on a different level. I have not had that same reaction, but it was a different type of conversation. It was me asking basically sort of just, have you ever heard of, are you familiar with ME, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and just getting the results.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he just gave you the results, and that was pretty much it?
Basically, there was nothing... But also, I did not engage as much either. So I think that the level that you're willing to engage there is that give and take.
Yeah.
And so when you're just asking a basic question, you get basic information.
Mm-hmm.
And to think, to sit there, even then, I'm encouraging to sit there and go, at some point, I believe that you will be able to have the knowledge to diagnose. Because I'm very much aware of when I'm typing anything, because internet's forever. I hope that nobody ever finds the MySpace thing. That would be bad. But, don't go looking. Don't go there.
I'm sure it's gone now anyway, because the layout has
go away.
The layout has completely changed. All that.
Far, far away. It's gone. It went down the cyber rabbit hole.
So I can't ask you what your screen name was?
No, you can't.
It's only for you to know.
Absolutely. But anyhow, to sit there and at some point...
The forbidden website.
To where Grok could be able to treat and diagnose. Let's face it. Now, what is... Currently, our educational models are based on those who have good memory. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's not that they're that much smarter necessarily. They just have better memory.
But what if the person cannot properly explain or describe what they are going through?
That becomes a problem. That does become a problem. And there are so many people that are like that.
Yeah. Because that...
Cat's coughing, I'm coughing, everybody be coughing.
Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things that it's like, okay, what if this happens? Can it detect, sort of hints here and there or whatever and pick up on that?
Right. And that is one of the reasons that people get misdiagnosis a lot, is that they don't have the ability to properly explain to whatever healthcare professional what is going on with them.
I fully believe that at some point there's going to be a thing where people can hook up their brains and then be diagnosed that way.
I think so, like you do your cars.
Not quite. I think it's going to be like a helmet that you put on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same sort of, it doesn't have to be the same action, the mechanism where they hook you something up into a cigarette lighter.
Like in the Matrix with the back of the neck.
Is the asshole the cigarette lighter of a human being?
No, that's just where the bullshit comes out of. They talk.
You gotta wonder.
Like Geminis,
Belly
they talk
button.
out of...
That would be it. That would be it.
The belly button would be the cigarette lighter?
Yes. For real.
What
Anyhow.
chakra is that?
Well, that's seriously, that would probably be it. Anyhow, you know how you have those computers that you can hook up to your car, and that whatever it is wrong with the car, that it can diagnose it. I do believe at some point the technology will get to where they can do that with humans and do it with greater efficiency and accuracy than we do have currently.
That would actually be a lot better. Once again, I don't want it to be like the Matrix where you plug up something into the back of our necks.
No, I don't think
I don't
it
want
has to be
something
that.
actually installed into me.
I don't know that it has to be that dramatic. I really don't. Because how many people are harmed by misdiagnosis every year?
A lot of people.
Bunches, more than is ever reported.
Well, if the higher ups would actually, release the information that's necessary, know.
Right, they're not going to do that.
No. How do we know that they're not going to do the same thing with the fucking robots? Or the technology?
That was something that I was asking oldest kid also. With AI, if it gets a virus, does it know that it has caught a virus? Would it be able to self-diagnose?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What was the answer? Did he give you an answer?
He's not. He said that a lot of the virus protection and stuff right now is good enough to where that a lot of times it is a matter of a preventative.
Sort of like vitamins.
Yeah.
For us. And
Yeah. Well, think about it. This is true. We are created creatures.
yeah.
Our code, literally genetic code, every strand of DNA, which has our creator's name written on it. It's his watermark. Every single bit. Mm-hmm. So in some ways, the AI and different things like that, it has multiple creators and all this stuff. And oldest kid was also talking about consciousness, that we currently have no true understanding of consciousness.
No, because we barely have a grasp on ourselves most of the time.
Exactly. So how could we possibly understand whether or not AI has consciousness? We are treading in some deep shit.
Yeah.
It's not even water, it's shit.
Listen, I'm over here panicking about what the fuck is going on in my subconscious and my sub thoughts. I'm like, I can't control this because I don't know what's going on there.
Deal with the conscious thoughts. If you deal with the conscious thoughts,
let alone an AI dealing with that shit too. I can't even comprehend it. That would...
I mean, this is ponderings, and that ponderings do not have to overtake. I mean, as far as to prevent them from doing. And there's a lot of ethical stuff with the AI also.
Yeah. If you got a lot of time to sit, you got a lot of time to think.
Well, that's basically what I have been relegated to at this point in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when physical form does not allow me to go and do like I would like to go and do, I can either sit here and whine and bitch and moan about it, or I can do what I can do.
But AI thinks all day long. It takes in
So do
new
humans.
information all day long, day and night.
So do humans.
Well,
They're just not as aware of it.
Well, when we're asleep, we kind of just clock out there for a bit.
Are you kidding? This is, our hearts still beat, we still breathe. There are all these things that from the autonomic nervous system that just happens, that we don't have to consciously think about to sit there and go breathe. I mean, we could do but that we do not have the ability at this point to determine what consciousness is. Those rabbit holes are coming. They are. And another rabbit hole that Kid and I have explored, this is something that I have known within the core of my being for a very long time, and I will know some of these things. The ancients knew these. It's not like it's peculiar to me. Genetic and cellular memory.
This is that 100th monkey thing.
Yeah, we have discussed that. Well, that's part about the collective consciousness.
Oh.
But this is from Daily Mail, and Emily, Joshu, Sterne. Why do they always get these names that people from Appalachia should not pronounce? December the 12th, 2024. Groundbreaking research suggests organ transplant patients are inheriting donors' memories and personalities.
Yeah, because the body stores memory in all places, not just the brain.
Exactly.
Exactly. That would be freaky to think, oh, I did this. No, this shit ain't my fucking, this ain't my experience. Right. Holy shit, this is someone else's life.
Right. And I will put a link, but read a little bit of the article here. It says, people receiving organ transplants have reported strange changes in their emotions, taste, and memories. This phenomenon is most common in heart recipients, but those who received kidneys, lungs, and even faces. Can you imagine wearing somebody else's face? Don't go down. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Someone had a face transplant.
Have also noticed changes to their food preferences, music choices, and even sexual orientation. Now that would fuck somebody up.
Yeah, that would not, dude.
So they really need to take these things into consideration. That was something else that oldest kid and I were talking about. Males and females are not the same.
No,
they're not. And that's all I'm going to say. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because I will get escalated real fast.
What happened to the 3D printing of the organs and the body parts and stuff with the people's actual DNA stuff?
That's something else that will be incoming, and that would be better. Because that would be much better.
Yeah, because at least it still has their own DNA and stuff.
Sure.
And it's also the less likelihood of it rejecting because it's still their genetics.
It says that in a review published earlier this year, researchers pointed to one case study in which a 9-year-old boy received a heart from a 3-year-old girl who drowned in her family's pool. Oh. Though the boy had no idea how his donor died, his mother reported that he became deathly afraid of water. In another, a college professor who received a heart from a fallen police officer who was shot in the face started seeing a flash of light right before his eyes. He said, "My face gets real hot. It actually burns." Increasing research suggests this could be because the heart and brain are intrinsically linked, as the heart shares neurons and cells similar to the brain. Additionally, an organ transplant may cause genes that control traits to change and express themselves differently.
Doesn't the Bible sort of talk about that shit?
What?
Like the mind and the heart, like being linked together.
Well,
all that.
And the gut is the second brain.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the educated idiots just discredit that for years, and now they're going back to it and be like, "Oh, full shit, circle. This is actually happening."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It says researchers in the 2024 review wrote, quote, "Emerging evidence suggests that heart transplantation may involve the transfer of the donor's personality traits and memories to the recipient, challenging conventional views of memory and identity. Additionally, the heart's neural network and biodirectional communication with the brain support the concept of heart-brain connection in memory and personality," end quote. Because these people are a bunch of educated idiots that are so up their own asses that it ain't no wonder that they can't see anything. It says that the team suggested these changes could be due to a transfer of cellular memory. No shit. Which suggests that individual cells may be able to form memories. No shit. Me and Alex Jones, we've been squalling some of this stuff 20, 30 years. So a little bit when we hear this, we're sitting there in the background going, no shit.
But that's when you just got to sit back and relax and just be like, okay, this is all going to come back around. This is going to all come back around. This is going to become common knowledge again.
It's hard. It says, however, the mechanism for this is still unclear. The mechanism. Okay, simply acknowledge that it is, and then you can work on the other stuff. It is that straining at a gnat and swallowing a camel stuff.
Oh. I don't even know what that means, but...
And then, however, you've always got to have the however. Many experts believe these cases are too coincidental, and that the changes may instead be a psychological response to recovering from major surgery and near deadly heart conditions. These are the same assholes that were saying that chronic fatigue syndrome and stuff is just all in our heads.
Yeah, and turns out it's an actual neurological disorder.
No shit. Yeah. Yeah.
You got neurons all through your fucking body.
Uh-huh. This one was an interesting case. It said that in 2002, doctors detailed the case of a woman who inherited her donor's food preferences. The researchers wrote, quote, she was a health-conscious dancer and choreographer, and upon leaving the hospital, she had an uncontrollable urge to go to a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant and order chicken nuggets, a food she never ate. Interestingly, uneaten Kentucky Fried Chicken nuggets were found in the jacket of the young man when he was killed. That she received his organ.
Oh shit! He didn't even have a chance to eat his nugs.
God love
Man,
him.
he
God
just
love
wanted
him.
some chicken nuggets. He just wanted to enjoy some chicken nuggets, and that was it.
It says another 29-year-old woman who received a heart from a 19-year-old vegetarian
What happened to the
suddenly
nuggets?
developed an aversion to meat. She's going to have some, nutritional deficiencies. Because that's what happens. Yes, I've done it. I've experienced it. Been there, done that.
Listen, I've been toying with the idea of fruitarian again.
You can do that, but you've already got nutritional deficiencies. That's part of what's going on with you right now. You need vitamins.
No, but when I was younger, I felt a lot better because I ate a lot of fruit.
You can't even remember that?
You called me a fruit bat.
I did. You did consume a lot of fruit, but it was not. You had.
It was a healthy balance.
Yes, but fruit was your preference.
Yeah.
Hey, grapes. My God, he could go through grapes it was unbelievable. He'd sit there and go, "Where's the grapes?" He ate them all. Okay.
Yep.
I guess we need to go buy more grapes. And let's see.
They're my kryptonite.
It's interesting here, and of course they have because this is today's world. It says in one case study mentioned, a homosexual male recipient of a heart from a lesbian artist reportedly became more attracted to women. Meanwhile, one lesbian woman who received a heterosexual woman's heart said she became attracted to men after her transplant and started questioning her sexuality.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. So, all this stuff, cellular memory exists. It does not take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that out.
No.
We have genetic memory. I've known that for a very long time also. And it's a matter of, I would love to be able to call forth when needed or wanted the memories of those who came before that I carry within me genetically. And it's like, hey, how did you do this? What was this plant called again? How did y'all do this?
I think you contact them through meditation. I don't know.
You don't talk to the dead. No,
No,
I'm talking about that part of that. It's there. How do we crack the code?
No joke. I think you crack that code through meditation. That's what I've heard. It's just seeking them through meditation, and meditation is not fun. It's fucking difficult as shit and frustrating.
A lot of that knowledge and
how to meditate.
I have experienced parts of that before, as far as people's how did you know to do that? And it's like it was an inner knowing.
Yeah, sometimes it's just there.
Yeah. And to trust that it is always there, whether,
That's in survival instincts.
Maybe it's just a control issue that I want to be able to call it forth, not when I need it, but when I want it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's when we don't... Seriously, why... Well... I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a control issue thing. I don't know. Because I also I sort of deal with a similar thing. It's okay, this shit is... I would like to know some of the tradition, just be able to call that forth of like the ancestors, just to, you know,
Bring it forth to conscious memory.
right.
And maybe it doesn't
but it
need
just
to be.
doesn't until like it's absolutely like like it's either a survival thing or whatever, you know.
Well, that was just like we were watching that one video about the Cherokee, it was some kind of war dance or whatever it was, and the whooping noise. That's just common in this area.
No.
People still do that. They don't know why they do that. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a war cry anymore. Well, it depends. But it is. I thoroughly believe that is part of genetic memory that is still alive in those of us that are living here in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
I don't know. It is interesting. That's like the genetic memory as far as the digging of the holes. I know our ancestors hid in the mountains. They dug holes. They hid in the mountains and shit like that. I know that's like it's not possible to build in a steep mountain. It is. There is a way. I don't know how to explain it, but it is possible.
It is possible, but I'm just
without
saying
it collapsing in on itself.
Because I have conscious memory of grandfather who was building inspector. And so within that, to sit there and go, that mudslide, let's not a buried alive
Well, I was
segment.
thinking like, okay, so what did they do? Did some of them like just coat the inside in clay and then bake it? Basically, they just turn it into one big oven, let it cool down, and then just take everything out, like the ashes, and then it's fine?
There are...
Along with some like structural integrity things.
There's a lot of caves in these mountains.
Like
I mean, truly.
Like if you stack rocks on top of each other in a certain way, they will stay, no matter rain or snow.
Yeah. But a lot of the Native Americans within this area, when they lived in the caves that were already there, the ones that were way primitive, and then you had some of the ones that they had what were called these long houses. That it was a communal living quarters. And
it's kind of like those. I don't remember what they're called in Japan. It is like a long house in a way, but it's
sort of sectioned off for each group or whatever.
Yeah, but it was for a family. It's the whole family generation, you know.
Yes, and that is part of Appalachian culture also. And in other cultures, it was not uncommon to have several generations living in the same general dwelling. Mm-hmm. You know, that you had different sections that were for different people. Those large old farmhouses were like that. That you had somebody that was there. And I would love for us to be able to go back to some of these things. We ain't talking them damn 15-minute city shits neither. That's prison.
I like plumbing. I like modern day plumbing. I really do. Those long houses did not have modern day plumbing.
The what?
Those long houses did not have modern day plumbing.
They certainly did not. But on a lot of this stuff, I think going back to the old ways, and I know that some of the people are like, oh, we're going to go into this new whatever it is. I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing. I think that it is, and that was something else that oldest kid, he was talking about the age of individualism. Now remember, he's millennial. He is a millennial. And they a different breed of cat. And he was talking about how that individualism may not be working. And I'm like, no shit. It's been one of those no shit evenings. Because it's individualism to that degree that it has been taken leads to hedonism, narcissism. It becomes nihilistic. It's unsustainable. But it's like, yes, you are an individual, but you're also part of the collective.
Yeah.
Because what one does has a ripple effect and it affects all others. We were told this. It is individual accountability and responsibility. But it's also that for, I don't want to say self-sacrifice on that, but sometimes within that mothering thing, you do that. That is what it is. To parent is to sacrifice for the good of the child.
Mm-hmm.
For the good of the community, or whatever it is. So if he's seeing that and his group of buddies are seeing that, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a way good thing.
Damn, it took them 30-some years.
Well, it's not just all of, I mean, those kids, and it's like,
Oh, at least
it makes my heart hurt a lot of times, for real. For the young people, what they have gone through, and that they have been deceived. And, a lot of the deception came through what they were seeing on the internet and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
And that those of us that are older and sitting there going, that ain't the way, that ain't the way. And sometimes you have to fall off the cliff. And if you can pick yourself back up, yeah. So,
how do we call forth genetic memory within ourselves?
And maybe it's not up to us to control it.
I don't think that it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not,
I think it's a matter of it being there when we need it. It would be cool. It would be cool. But, yeah. Neurospicy rabbit hole that we've been down. Because this one was calm because there was a common thread. There's sometimes that there is not necessarily a common thread. It's just neurospicy.
But the fact that we're coherent and the fact that I actually stayed on topic for once.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, because that we do, and it is harder for us. Uh-huh. Some days are harder than others. Yeah, and it's a matter of patience and grace. And final thoughts?
I don't know. I'm a smooth brain gang.
I'm going to have him listen to a little bit of Eckhart Tolle this weekend. I think he'll enjoy him.
Bogus Pinted?
Eckhart had some good points. You can listen to other people. You can listen to other belief systems. If your belief system is so weak that you cannot listen to a different opinion or something like that, then you need to reassess what you believe in. Yeah.
That's very true.
Everybody's be having a paranormal and paranoid and supernatural. God love some of those people on X. They've got drones in their areas. We don't even know what those things are.
Nah, and everybody's going through spiritual warfare right now.
Yeah. You want to tell them where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Warlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Warlanda, COCWS.
Yeah. Know that you are loved.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
If you want compassion, forgiveness, empathy, grace, understanding, do that to other people.
Listen, I'm not going to give compassion or empathy to stink bugs.
No, I don't blame you on that. That's different. They're just
they could go
personification of evil.
They could go extinct, and I would be perfectly happy with that.
I have no problem with that. I have that and mosquitoes. The frogs can eat something else. Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.